Welcome. It's great to see some new faces. Welcome, welcome to this gentle stretch midday release. I'm Emily Joe, and so happy to have this time to practice some mindfulness and gently accessing our bodies with an intention of feeling better, opening things up and getting energy moving in our body more freely. So it looks like we're just about all here, and inviting you to find a comfortable seated position, whatever that may be for you. So again, I'm going to remind you that if you are choosing to sit on the ground in any form that suits you, I do recommend the use of a prop, maybe a pillow. A folded or rolled up blanket can also serve as a prop to sit on. You might be sitting on a couch or in a chair. If getting up and down from the floor doesn't make sense for you, please honor that. Right. I can. So I'm going to, let's see, just make sure my settings are all right for my microphone. I have found that if I don't make this special musician's setting on my microphone, you don't get the benefit of the gong and the singing bowls in the same way. I have to remember to make that change. All right, welcome, welcome. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Karen. All right, welcome, Dina. Yes, we're all here. Fabulous. So we're finding a comfortable seated position. We're making sure that first and foremost we are aligned in our spines. Our crown of a head is aligned over our tailbone. If we're sitting on a prop, we're sitting to the front edge of that prop. And the reason that we're doing that is so that we're allowing for a subtle tilt of the tailbone backwards. So we want to not be sitting where the tailbone is like stuck underneath us, but in fact we want to free the tailbone and bring our pelvis towards the front of whatever prop we're using, so that there's a subtle tilt of the tailbone backwards and a subtle tilt of the pelvis forwards. Great. Welcome, Deborah. Okay, so as you find that neutral, happy position, I invite you to bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. If that doesn't feel organic and natural for you, find another natural, organic grounding position for your hands, like just resting them on your knees. I invite you to drop your chin just subtly downward, close your eyes, and begin to breathe deeply in through the nose. At the top of your breath, hold the breath for just a moment, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. Go ahead and repeat that a few more times as I invite the gong. You're inhaling deeply through the nose. You're holding your breath at the top, and you're exhaling through the mouth slowly. Continuing to breathe naturally, bring your palms to your together in front of your heart. Rest your chin towards your chest and allow for the weight of the head to just spill forward, breathing into the back of the neck, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Feeling a gentle stretch at the back of the neck and the tops of the shoulders as you simply relax the head forward and breathe deeply. Together, we're going to interlace our fingers, press the palms forward, and stretch toward the center of our virtual circle. So we're reaching long through the arm bones and we're rounding the spine, allowing for a stretch in the upper spine. We're maybe turning our tailbone forward if that feels natural, comfortable for you. And take another deep breath here into the back side of your body. Relax your leg bones and feel free to fill space underneath your knees with pillows or blocks or anything like a sweatshirt that might be nearby. Supporting under the leg bones will go a long way to finding ease in your hips and your low back. On an inhale, take the arms overhead, stretch tall. On the exhale, relax the hands behind the head. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. On the inhale, open the elbows even wider. As you exhale, curl the elbows together. Draw the chin towards the chest. Inhale, open the elbows wide. Exhale, press the palms overhead. And inhale again, reaching even taller. On the exhale, we're rounding the spine, palms are pressing forward at shoulder height. We're stretching the shoulder blades apart and feeling into this contraction, belly button pulling towards the spine. On an inhale, arms reach overhead again. Exhale, hands behind the head, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, open the elbows wider. Exhale, curl the elbows together, draw the chin towards the chest. Inhale, open the elbows wide. Exhale, press the palms overhead and inhale again, reaching even taller. Exhale, keep that sense of space between the rib cage and the pelvis as you round and stretch one more time to that first position, reaching through the wrists, the forearms. Inhale, arms overhead. Stay with me here. Keep breathing deeply. Inhale again. Exhale, rotate towards the right, left hand towards the right knee. So we're drawing the left shoulder forward and the right shoulder back, and we're inviting a sense of relaxation from the waist down. And we're going to start to turn our chin slowly from shoulder to shoulder. Nice, slow, easy movement in the neck. I'm going to encourage you to relax the leg bones and make adjustments in the way that you're holding your legs or seated. Bring support underneath your knees that are floating in the air so that you can relax the hips more effectively. Take a couple more breaths here, encouraging the gaze to remain forward over the left shoulder. The spine is elongating as if a helium balloon was pulling you upward from the crown of your head. On an inhale, go ahead and float the arms overhead again. Return through center and exhale, finding a counter twist. The right hand crosses towards the left knee. The left hand is just at the floor. I'm using my fingertips at the floor. If the floor doesn't feel accessible to you, use your hands, put your hands on a prop. But focus on bringing the shoulders down away from the ears and the sternum upward so that you are creating more space between the rib cage and the pelvis, avoiding any sense of collapse in your spine. The right hand towards the left knee, the left hand finding a place behind you or at your side as a point of leverage to support this rotation. Check in with the neck. Rotate the chin slowly from shoulder to shoulder. Invite the chin now to rest over the right shoulder, looking forward. Deep breathing here, in and out through the nose. Engage the abdomen towards the spine as you exhale. Inhale, take the arms overhead. We're coming back up and back to neutral. Exhale, take the hands behind the head. interlace the fingers or not, and just invite the hands to support the back of the skull and the elbows to open wide, and just allow for a little bit more expansion in those shoulders and a sense of upliftment in the chest. So you want to be encouraging that sense that the sternum is rising. Wonderful. Relax the elbows and the wrists to your lap. Relax the shoulders into neutral, but notice a little bit more space in the spine. And on an exhale, let the chin drop towards the notch at the base of the throat. Check in again with your legs here. Make sure that you're bringing yourself to neutral. Shift it up. If you need to switch the legs around, do so. If you need to bring props underneath the knees, remember that's going to make a big difference in how you are feeling in your hips and your low back. Go ahead and start to relax the head and neck from side to side like a pendulum. The shoulders are relaxing as well, so they are moving naturally in response to the weight of your head. This is a gentle surrender to gravity. We're not pushing or straining. We're doing our best to simply fall subtly from side to side, breathing deeply in and out through the nose. The elbows and the wrists are heavy, dropping into your lap. The head is rolling heavily. It might feel so good to you that you are ready to roll the head all the way into the back space and explore a full rotation in the neck. And it also is possible that you prefer to just roll the head from side to side. Exploring that pendulum motion may feel just perfect for you. So take a little bit more time exploring the head and neck by surrendering to gravity, staying curious and compassionate and filled with breath. As it feels natural, surrender the right ear towards the right shoulder. Take the left hand behind the back if that feels okay, or reach the left fingertips away from the body. And take just a few more breaths considering the space between the left earlobe and the top of the left shoulder and allowing it to open to the breath a little bit more. You might use the right hand across the top of the head if that makes sense, but we're not pulling, we're not creating any strain, we're not tugging, we're just resting. We're surrendering to gravity to the best of our ability in the shoulders, in the groins, in the jaw. Keeping the heart space elevated, the abdomen engaged. Rotate the chin towards the armpit, drop it down, but keep the head dropped towards the right. Invite a new angle of access to that left side of the neck. The right hand rests at the back of the skull. We're breathing deeply here. Surrendering to gravity. The arm bones fall to your lap. The head rolls back, chin to chest. And slowly we're rolling the left ear towards the left shoulder. And just dropping that left ear, opening the right side of the neck, working with the right arm extended away from the body or behind the back. We may be taking the left hand across the top of the head, fingertips towards the tip of the right ear. We're relaxing. We're not pulling, we're not tugging, we're not straining, we're just surrendering. We're breathing even more deeply here. And we're releasing the chin towards the chest, hands interlaced behind the back. We're drawing the arm bones downward and possibly away from the body, but first down, shoulder blades down and together behind the heart. And the arms maybe want to also stretch away from the body. But we're going to try not to hyperextend our ribs. We're going to keep the front of the rib cage dropping downward. Breathing deeply here, big stretch with the shoulders. The head may be happy spilling forward, and then you may also want to start to elevate the crown of the head, bringing length to the back of the neck and drawing the chin subtly inward toward the neck. Chin subtly inward toward the throat while the crown of the head rises. Just another breath or two here, working with the shoulders down and possibly back. Breathing deeply here. And then releasing the hands to the knees. Take a moment and just roll those shoulders. In fact, if it feels good to you, place your fingertips across the tops of the shoulders and roll the elbows. See what range of motion you may have available to you in rolling those elbows around. And then reverse the direction of that roll. And if you really want to get crazy with it, see if you can roll one elbow in one direction while rolling the other elbow in the other direction. And then reverse that. Beautiful. And relax the arms. Just let them drop to your lap. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes and observe the subtle tingling in your body, the flow of your breath, the sensations of the way the bones in your body are weighted to the earth, connected to the earth here. Just take another moment here. So we're going to follow the map of our breath, and we're going to start to create a rock and roll in the spine, otherwise known as cat-cow in yogic terms. Inhale, coming forward with the heart in the chest. Exhale, drawing the chest and the heart backward. And we can move here seated, and we can also shift, if you'd like, onto hands and knees. So yogi's choice, honor your wrists, cushion your knees. If you're choosing to come to your tabletop position here, you may like to stay seated. That's perfect. Inviting whatever feels natural and loving for you and your body right now. Inhaling, if you're on hands and knees, you can add the tuck of your toes, a little stretch for the feet. And on the exhale, you can come up onto your fingertips to get out of your wrists and round the spine more effectively. Inhaling to melt. Exhaling to round. Moving with your breath here, rocking and rolling through the spine from crown to tail. Whether you're on hands and knees or staying seated, it's perfect. Just following your body wisdom and allowing the breath to move you. In fact, continue to allow the breath to move you any way you like. Maybe you're going to feel inclined to create some rotational motion in the shoulders, in the rib cage, in the hips. Keep exploring the spine in any way that feels good to you. If you're seated, it might feel good to create some kind of a rotational motion in your torso, as if you were stirring a pot. Just allow. Allow for what feels good to you. There's no right or wrong. There's just this breath, this body, this moment of invitation for you to just dive a little deeper into the sensations of the body, the flow of the breath, and allowing your body wisdom to guide you. Reminding yourself that everything's perfect no matter where you are, seated or on hands and knees. It's perfect. Stay with what feels good to you. Keep moving and breathing just a little bit longer, giving yourself permission to dig a little deeper and just tap into your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Let the breath guide you into the body again, and whatever feels natural, organic, and most importantly, satisfying to you in this breath, in this body, in this moment. Fantastic. Let's all find our way to some form of a camel pose. So if you would rather not be on your knees, sit on your palms, bring your elbows and shoulders back, and roll your heart high. If you're comfortable being on your knees, cushion those knees. Direct the tailbone downward by placing your hands behind your hips. Squeeze those elbows and shoulder blades back and direct the tailbone down towards your knees. Keep the pelvis, the glutes soft. So use your hands right down here at the back of your pelvis, covering and supporting the flesh of your glutes, remaining soft, and the space of your sacrum being supported by the heels of your hands. As you continue to support in that space at the back of this pelvis, you'll feel more stable and neutral and able to elevate the heart, elevate the rib cage, the sternum. Drop the chin towards the notch at the base of the throat. Look forward rather than up. Keep squeezing the elbows and the shoulder blades together behind you, and keep squeezing pressing the shoulder blades up as if you're presenting the heart on a platter. Take another big breath here. On an exhale, release. Slide the hands forward. Rest the hips towards the heels. Feel free to bring in a block or pillow or whatever you may have to collect your forehead. Let the elbows drop. Give yourself permission to relax the pelvis back towards the heels. If there's space between your hips and your heels, feel free to place a pillow behind your knees, and that will support your knees as you drop the hips back. Allow for surrender here. We're going to rest in this supported, restorative version of child pose. The goal for you is to allow the weight of your bones to surrender completely to Mother Earth. Dropping the skull to some support. Elbows, wrists, heavy. Pelvis, dropping.
Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath at the top for just a moment. And then exhale through your mouth. Allow the bones to get even heavier. Repeat this twice more. Inhale. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Hold. And exhale through the mouth. Gently rocking the forehead on the earth or the prop that it's resting on, bringing movement to your fingertips, to your toes. Slowly press your way up. Bring your legs in front of you. Feel free to keep a blanket underneath you. Stretch the heels forward. Reach the toes high. Extend the arms overhead. Dandasana, or staff pose here. We're going to stretch up and reach the heels forward. Spread the toes. Activate through fingers and toes. Keep reaching up and engaging the core, engaging the feet, engaging the hands. On an exhale, stretch the arms forward by hinging at the hips. Let the tailbone reach back. Remember the idea of freeing the tailbone. Kind of let the tailbone reach back and extend the spine gently forward. Take a few breaths here in whatever form of forward stretch feels accessible to you. You may even happen to have a bolster or prop that you can place underneath your forehead to stabilize the skull. That might feel great. We're breathing deeply here into the back side of the body. We're staying active in our feet. Our hands can rest at our legs so the shoulders can relax. We can just allow ourselves to tap into gravity to the best of our ability, using gravity to support this stretch. When it feels complete for you, slowly come back to a neutral spine. I'm going to encourage you to bend the knees and start to lean back, finding action in your abdomen. So you're just going to lean back as far as you need to in order for that abdominal wall to activate. Think belly button toward the back of your heart. And take a couple breaths here. If it feels safe and right to you, take the arms forward. If it feels also safe and right to you, consider playing with elevating one foot and alternating. The key here is that we are leaning back, but we're also keeping the spine long and the abdomen engaged. So there's no collapse in the spine. You might even take both feet up. Great work, everybody. Play with this as long as you'd like, and then give yourself a big hug. Draw the knees in, stretch the arms around the legs, and just take a moment to drop your forehead toward your knees. Enjoy that nice release, breathing into the back of the body, relaxing the shoulders. Deep breathing here. One more round. Deep inhale. Feel the back of your lungs expand. Hold the breath for a moment at the top and then exhale through your mouth. Let it go. Take yourself slowly onto your back. We're moving onto our back with care. We're mindfully transitioning, making sure that we are arriving on our back safely. So if it's comfortable for you, you can roll down hands free. If it's not, use your hands, transition in a way that makes sense to you. We're landing with our knees bent and our spine nice and relaxed as we arrive On our backs, we're going to take the arms across the chest. We're going to actually give ourselves a hug, congratulate ourselves for getting to this point where we're just 10 minutes away from full surrender. Bring your fingers around the back of your scapula, or toward the outside of your scapula, and see if you can lift the scapula away from the floor while reaching the spine towards the floor. So this should feel like a shoulder stretch here. I'm elevating my elbows. My hands are around the outside of my shoulders, and I'm lifting my shoulders away from the floor, keeping my head heavy on the floor and the spine between my shoulder blades reaching back towards the mat. And then relax and let the arms fall over your head and open like cactus arms in any shape and position that feels good to you and your shoulders. Keep the feet separated to the side edges of the mat, and then start to roll the knees towards the right and the nose in the opposite direction. On the inhale, the left knee is going to open away from the right knee. We're going to keep the right knee heavy on the earth or towards the earth. Heavy, heavy right knee. Left knee is pulling away from the right. Eventually, the pelvis actually starts to rock, and it's really the pelvis that's pulling that right leg over. See if you can access that level of slow, mindful transition in the legs and the pelvis. In other words, the first leg is opening away from the second leg. It's the pelvis that starts to rock as that first knee is falling away. The pelvis rocks, and it's really the pelvis rocking that pulls the second leg over, and then it kind of falls to gravity. The top leg opens, and we don't rush to move the second leg. We let it stay heavy, and as the pelvis rocks, it pulls the second leg into motion and over. Give yourself permission to explore that sensation. It means slowing the movement down a lot and allowing the legs to fall apart from one another before the second leg falls over. So the legs are moving individually. They're not moving at the same together. They each have their own mechanism. So allow for that exploration as the legs keep rolling from side to side. The nose keeps rolling in the opposite direction. The arms remain heavy at your side. Let the arms fall through the floorboards. This should feel like a nice and satisfying bit of access to your hips and your low back, and your low back is likely to be calling for some neutralization right about now. So as you naturally desire to, pull your knees to your chest and just hang out there and breathe into your back when you're ready to do so. Ultimately, we're all going to meet up, placing our hands behind our knee joints, elevating our ankles in Happy Baby, and letting the knees flop open toward our armpits, basically. The hands can remain at the calves with the elbows at the earth, and you also have the option to slide the hands up toward the ankles or the big toes, taking Yogi Toe Lock. That means that your index finger is wrapping around your big toe and reaching for your thumb tip, like an OK symbol. And you're going to drop the arm bones to gravity there. So any version of Happy Baby, you're eliminating as much muscular tension as possible. You're surrendering to gravity wherever possible. And you're acknowledging that this is a vulnerable arrangement of your bones, and it's very likely that you are feeling some natural resistance arising within. And if that's the case, please hold yourself tenderly, compassionately. Acknowledge that you are safe, that you are fully in control of your body and your breath in this moment. And it's okay to take this opportunity to relax and surrender and deepen that relaxation that's available to you in your hips and your groins for your most optimal well-being. Allow for the breath and allow for some subtle movement now. Just keep surrendering to gravity, but notice that maybe there's some gentle rocking or extending in the legs that feels juicy and satisfying to you here. Allow. There's no right or wrong, just listening to your body wisdom in this breath, in this body, in this moment. And continuing to encourage surrender, checking in with your shoulders regularly to relax, checking in with your jaw, your face, your tongue, your forehead, your eyeballs, your scalp even. Give yourself permission to let out some sound. Can be very satisfying, very helpful in resetting the nervous system by letting out some sound. We can take the hands to the floor, palms and the arm bones dropping down at our sides, and we can flex the feet, engage the core, and we can make a bicycle motion. And if that doesn't feel right to you, find an alternative that feels perfectly natural to you in this moment. Honoring your body wisdom, let's reverse our bicycle motion. So the low back, the whole spine is pressing against the earth, the arm bones pressing against the earth, the belly button pressing towards the spine. Let's slow it down now, like super slow motion. And we're going to just push one leg away while pulling one knee in. And then super slow motion, we're going to switch it up. Notice that slowing the movement down does not make it easier. Keep the back of your neck neutral, the chin away from the chest, the skull rooting down towards the earth. And when you feel like you have accessed enough with your abdomen in this moment, draw your knees to your chest. Place your hands across your shin bones. Take a deep breath into the back of the body while relaxing your shoulders. Exhale, draw the nose towards the knees, the belly button towards the spine, and the perineum in and up. This is an employment of all three bandhas or energy seals in the body. One is at the throat, one is at the belly button, and one is at the perineum, or otherwise known as a Kegel. Go ahead and release. Let everything relax. Take the soles of the feet towards the floor. Separate the knees while bringing the soles of the feet together. And if you happen to have pillows or blocks nearby, feel free to place them under your knees. And we're going to just rest here with the legs falling open and the left hand falling at your heart, the right hand at your belly. If it doesn't feel good to rest your arms in that position, take another position that feels more natural and organic to you. We're resting here for just a few more breaths, and notice, what are you holding on to in your body that you could let go of in this exhale? Keep relaxing a little bit more with each exhale. With your next exhale, consider rotating your feet to the floor, bringing your knees together. You're going to bring your right knee to your chest and draw the left leg long and heavy. And with the right knee drawn in, you're going to relax the left leg and the shoulders. And you're going to take a few moments with even more attention to the right hip, allowing the right knee to fall into the right hand, be moved from hand to hand, or be held in stillness as you like. Just working with that right leg and hip in a way that feels most satisfying to you right now. Movement or stillness is perfect. Breathing is essential, and taking your time, allowing for that right knee to be drawn across your body with your left hand. Left hand to right knee, and roll the right hip on top of the left hip. It might make sense to use a pillow under the right knee. It might make sense to place a prop under the right elbow, because the right shoulder is definitely going to come off the mat here, and you don't want to strain the shoulder. So feel free to support under the elbow so there's no strain in the shoulder. Allow the shoulder to come off the mat. Allow the right hip to come all the way on top of the left hip, and take 3 giant breaths here. In through the nose. Hold the breath, and then exhale through the mouth. Let it go. 2 more times. In through the nose. Hold the breath, and then exhale through the mouth. Last time. On the exhale, belly button to spine, right knee rolls to your chest, left knee comes in to join the right knee. Hold the knees inward, reset the pelvis, and stretch the right leg long and heavy. Relax the weight of the right leg to the earth. Hold the left knee. Take a few breaths here, resetting the spine, relaxing the shoulders. And then allowing for movement in that left leg and that left hip, where we can be manipulating that left leg with our hands in any way that feels groovy and satisfying to you. Breathing deeply, take the right hand to the left knee, draw it across the body. Let the left arm reach behind you, elevating the left shoulder and supporting the left elbow as needed. Relax and move into that breath pattern we've repeated. Inhale through the nose, hold the breath, and exhale through the mouth. Relax everything, melt back into little seed pose. Thank you so much for joining. We're moving now toward our final resting pose here. Arrange your body any way that feels good to you. The leg bones might like to be supported and elevated with a pillow or a chair or a couch or whatever might be at hand, an ottoman. You may spill your limbs to the earth like a puddle, starfish out. Falling now into this last couple of minutes, this final restorative pose. We rest on our backs. We may choose to swaddle ourselves up, but we're now resting on our backs and closing our eyes and surrendering. Falling into the spaciousness that you've cultivated through your practice, letting go of what no longer serves your most optimal well-being. And seeding that which you choose to cultivate within today. Observing the breath as it deepens. Allow yourself to remain focused inward as you slowly reanimate and transition to sit. If you happen to have time and space in your day and an inclination to remain in Shavasana, please feel free to do so. We can complete our practice by bringing our palms together, resting our chin towards our chest, and taking a breath into the back of the neck, holding it and exhaling through the mouth. Namaste. The light in me acknowledges the light in you.